Hello everyone, my name is Akshat Gupta. I was a developer evangelist at Agora. I was also a software developer at JoshTalks, and currently I am working as a project and operations manager at Trademarkia. So I've been participating in hackathons for quite some time now. I've won several of them. I've taken part in almost 20 hackathons and I have a 50% success rate, or maybe say 60, and I've won half or more than half of them. Some of my hackathon wins include winning pen apps, winning hop hacks, that is University of Pennsylvania, Johns Hopkins University, there comes VIT hack, and many more. So I worked on different projects in different domains and I made a lot of different stuff. And I've accumulated a lot of information, a lot of tricks as to what we can do to increase our chances of winning a hackathon. And I'm here to share just that thanks to the Profitech team. Thank you for calling me to conduct this workshop for you. So the topic of today's workshop is Hacks for Hacks. This is a simple workshop to help you decide what you want to do in a hackathon during a hackathon without even knowing how to do anything. This is especially useful if you don't know how to code, you have an awesome idea, but you don't know how to implement it. Say you know that you want to make a website or a mobile application for a particular idea, but you don't know how to make the application itself. That's when this workshop will come into picture. Compiled a Google document which can be found on the following link. You can just type this link on your Google search or on any of your browsers and you'll be able to find all the tips and tricks I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So first up, as I mentioned, you don't need to know coding to make an app or a website. I'll show you a simple way how you can use one of these tricks so that you know that these tricks actually work. Say you don't know how to make an app, you can just search for something called the MIT App Inventor. When you search for this, you can go to the first link, you click on get started, that is to start now, and you get different instructions, etc. But I'm just going to go directly to get started. I've opened the App Inventor, it's going to load, and then I can click on start new project. It shows you a welcome screen. I'll just enter the name as demo. So I've clicked on OK. This is a very simple tool where you just need to drag and drop stuff. You know where a button has to be, you know where an image has to be. All you do is use this button, drag it over here. You want to put an image, drag it over here. Just you can select different things, you can rename them, you can rename the image to anything. You can add a list view, you can add a slider, a switch, you can change the text for the switch. You have different things over here, right? You can just type switch and it changed. You can write demo and it changes. You can change the background color. This works for everything. You can change the font style to italic, bold, increase the size, you can change the font type, etc. So it's very customizable. You don't need to do anything. You can insert a website into this. You can put the home URL, for example, I'll put my website. So I've put my own website out here, and this is what the home URL will be when you run this. I can just publish this and you have your first app ready. Within a few seconds, I have an app with a button which does something. I have a switch, I have a web view, I have a lot of things, and I didn't even need to do any kind of coding. All I did was I dragged a few stuff, I did whatever I want. You can similarly set the layout. You can see that there's a horizontal arrangement, there's a table, there's vertical. You can add media, you can add sound recordings, text to speech, a lot of things into your app. You don't need to do anything. You can store data. All you need to do is bring the cloud DB. You can not see it, but you can set stuff. You can enter the project ID, Redis server, the token, so that it gets stored and it is secure. There's connectivity like Bluetooth features, etc. Again, zero code, you have your complete app ready. Now that you have your mobile app ready, let's look at how you can make a website. I'm pretty sure you would have found the MIT App Inventor intriguing, but wait till you watch what Wix.com does. So there's something called Wix.com. It's a perfect site creating application, you could say. So using this software, you can again just drag and drop and create your own websites. And it also provides you with a lot of templates. You don't need to necessarily start from scratch. You have a lot of things. As you can see, this is a ready-made website. You can just change the images, etc. when you want. You went through it, it looks good, it is responsive, like you don't waste a lot of time, and it looks the same and perfect thing on a mobile device as well. I just refreshed it and it'll reflect the mobile version. There you go, you can see it. So that's how it's responsive as well, and you didn't need code. So you can directly click on edit this site, you create your account, you can start editing the website yourself, and you have your own website ready the same way. And you already have the base set up. All you need to do is edit stuff. You think that's simple? Now wait till you see what WordPress.com does. So I'll just put up these links for you to refer later. I'll also put up links. The MIT App Inventor. There you go. So these are a few of the links that we have referred to till now. The App Inventor by MIT was used to create mobile apps. The Wix website was used to create other websites. Now it's time to see what WordPress can do. WordPress is a very familiar blogging platform to most of us. It can be used to do different stuff. You can create different websites, you can create a blogging site, you can use it for your business, and again you have many templates, many plugin creators, etc. working here. All you need to do is go to wordpress.com. You can sign up, you can use another template, and it is very customizable. So I'll show you a demo of a website I made using WordPress, and it does not seem like it has been done without coding, because it is obviously drag and drop, but the authenticity of this website is unmatched. You can almost, no one can say that this has been made using WordPress without actually going through the code, because it is so authentic. You can see, you can switch this as a carousel out here. Everything works perfectly. You have this effect over here, and you didn't code anything, and you have a timer. All these components you get, you can put it on your website and without any coding. So there you go, you're done with making mobile apps and WordPress or Wix websites. Now say you come across a really cool website. For example, you came across my website and you want to make this, but you have no idea how to do that. In such a case, what you're going to do is you can use this tool called the WordPress, the Wayback Machine downloader, my bad. So I'm going to put this link. What this does is, if you copy the link of any website you like and you paste it over here, you enter an example. I would recommend you enter your own email over here, but I'm just going to put example, I'm not a robot, and download now. What this website does is, it goes through the entire website, it scrapes each and every file in the website server, and it downloads it later. So you can see that it's being scraped. It got the HTML code of the website. You can see all the different files used. There's Ajax, there's AOS, there are different CDNs, NPM, jQuery, and now you can see that the entire website has been loaded over here. You can scroll down and it looks exactly the same. It is exactly the same. The functionalities are the same. Everything is changing, and it just keeps scraping. And once you're done, all you need to do is click on save and preview below, or download free files. The free version is good enough and you will be good to go. You will have a lot of content already there. So I'm going to save this and I'll show you how the files look. This is especially useful if you know how to code, but you don't know how to code well enough. You need something to refer. In such a case, you can see that you have the index.html file. I'll just double click this, or rather I'll just open it with Brave. Okay. So you can see that this is all the code the website uses. and you didn't have to do anything to get the data except for just download it. So I'm just going to open the folder. There you go. It says this is the backup of that website. I've opened that folder. This VS Code, this is a simple text editor I like using. There's no preference here. I just wanted to show you the code. And now I just open this particular website onto my browser. And you'll see this is a local IP address, which is my local host, followed by index.html, and there you go. You have the exact same website replicated on my URL. That is my laptop locally, instead of akshatvg.com, which is my website. So I was able to download another website and I was able to get the source code for it. I can edit this now. Say it says overview Akshat Gupta, right? I'll just change this from Akshat Gupta to Akshat VG, and you'll notice that once I refresh the page, it automatically changes Akshat Gupta to Akshat VG. Let's just see where this is. Okay, so this is supposed to be in the nav bar, and yep, it has changed to Akshat VG. Let's just check the overview as well, and let's change it in the overview. So again, let's go with Akshat VG. I'll remove Gupta, and the laptop is right next to it. There you go. You see this changed, and you're making real-time edits to an already existing website locally. You can use this as your own project, and there's no harm to it, as long as if it's open source, you can fork it from GitHub, or you can star it and you can promote the original creator. But if it's closed source and you really want to copy a particular component, for example, you want to know how I did the tabs, so you just download my source code and you can make changes to it according to whatever your need is. This way you don't need to depend upon another coder who developed another website to help you out. You can do it yourself. Now that this is done, it's time that I open the Web2 app. Say you have a website, like I have akshatvg.com. That's a really cool website, but I want to make it as an app. I have enough skills to actually develop a website, but my product makes more sense as a mobile app. For example, you can take Steps at Go. It's an application that tracks how much you move, where you go, how many steps you have taken in a particular day. But it does not make sense to keep it on a website because it can't track your location and steps every day. But a mobile app can definitely do it. So in such a case, you're going to go to gonative.io. GoNative.io is a site to convert your mobile apps to your websites into mobile apps. Clicked on create a new app. I'm going to enter my URL out here, akshatvg.com. I'm going to set my app's name. It's going to be Akshat Gupta. Where should I send the links? Let's just open this ad, akshatvg00@gmail.com. This is my alternate email. As you can see, it says Apple build in progress, Android build in progress. So what this actually does is it still has your website. It uses your deployed website link and it opens it inside the app as a web view. So you have a Apple app which is built, you have a Android APK which is built, it runs on your phone, but what it is actually doing is it is just opening your website inside an app, so on a full screen, so that it looks like you have created an app. Once you build this app, you will get an email within a few minutes. It takes a while, so it takes 2-3 minutes, then it emails you, it takes another 2-3 minutes. So within like 10 minutes, you get an app bundle which you can run on your laptop as well as on your phones. So I'm going to keep this for later because it does take a while. Once this is done, I could show you the email which we get from them. Another thing, don't shy away from using templates. So what a lot of good developers do is they make different kinds of really tough to make templates and they keep it on sale or they provide it to everyone for free. It could be freely available on GitHub. So what new developers do is they feel shy using someone else's code. But the fact is, if you go to theme forest, for example, Theme Forest provides you with lots of themes. You can download these themes. You have WordPress themes. You have your own coded themes. Let's go to HTML. Let's go to, say, entertainment. You have different topics. You can either purchase a template or you can find a free template at something like, say, HTML5 up. I'm just going to open this on a new tab and I'll copy this. HTML5 up is made using pure code. It's not for WordPress websites, and I'll show you a few live demos. So these are different websites. You can download the codes as it is, and you can edit these exactly how I told you you would edit the codes for a website you saw online. But these are open. You can download these. You don't need to do anything. You may have to give credits depending on the license they put up, but overall you don't need to do a lot of work. You just need to change the text once you download this. Say you want to make a portfolio website, all you do is you just change, say my name is Ethril to my name is Akshat. You can give your own description, it keeps changing. You can change your photos and you can enter a lot of details of yours without actually making the scrollable thing. Although it looks pretty cool, you don't need to do anything, and that is a win-win situation. So don't shy away from using templates. Just because you're using a template doesn't make you any better or worse than someone. It just shows that you're confident enough. That also brings you to a point where you need to consider the hackathon you're going to, whether it allows such things or not. Some hackathons do not allow you to use templates, but they mention it in their rules and regulations very clearly. But most of the hackathons do not mention this, which means they're fine with it. As long as you give them a working product which can be converted into a startup and is profitable, or it is really helpful for the society, it's in. You don't need to worry about anything. Now, next up, I would say aim for special prizes. Every hackathon has multiple prizes. You definitely have the first, second, third prizes, or you can call it gold, bronze, platinum, anything. But there are three main prizes, and then there are sponsor challenges. For example, you can have a challenge where if you use a particular SDK or API, that company will keep you as one of the eligible teams and they can give you an external prize. And this does not necessarily mean you won't be eligible for the first, second, third places. This just means that you're eligible for an extra prize. Google Cloud is a constant sponsor for a lot of hackathons. All they expect you to do is use one of their APIs, SDKs. You can use maps, you can use their virtual machines, compute engines to just deploy your application, and without doing anything or say taking a lot of effort, you are eligible for that prize. As long as you're using the SDK or software, you're in. So it's very easy to aim for special prizes and win. Not only does it increase your chances of winning because you're winning either the first, second, third, or this, or both as well, but you're also trying to do something new. You work on something new and you learn a lot, because working with SDKs is fun. It is a little frustrating at times when you can't understand the documentation, but it is still really fun because you're learning something new. Now, say you have a very good project, but you don't know how to sell it. This will especially happen when there are more than 100 participants in a hackathon and you need to stand out. In such a case, it becomes very hard to do something, let's say like this. Okay, alright. So I'm just searching for a repository of mine. So this is an archived repository of mine. I had taken this to the Hop Hacks Fall of 2019 by Johns Hopkins University, and I won the Siemens Healthy News Special Track. Again, as I mentioned the last step, special prizes, they're really easy to win, and I won the best healthcare hack there. So we made a detachable device for wheelchairs to help out the disabled as well as the elderly, but it's very hard to convey something like that. So what I would recommend is you make a readme file on your GitHub repository which you'll be submitting, because you need to submit code if you are in a coding based challenge, right? So in that, if you make a readme which explains everything, which has a link for demo, like When you click on this, I guess a YouTube video opens up. You can watch everything about my project over here. If the judge has a lot of time or the judge feels interested in your project, they'll view the whole video. You can see the whole working of it. You can explain how it is working, your business model, or you can also just type it up. You wrote the inspiration, what it is, why it is better, challenges, accomplishments, what we learned, how it works, our business model, and any other requirements, followed by the steps to run. A lot of different hackathon organizers do code reviews, and in such cases, they expect to know how to run your application. There may be several different things. For example, we need AWS configured in our particular app, and a normal application does not usually have it. So, to help out the code reviewers, it is always recommended you have a really healthy and detailed readme like this. So I'll just drop a link of this GitHub repository so you can refer this in the future. Next up, we have the fresher's luck. So every hackathon, or at least most of the hackathons I've been to, love when someone new tries out a hackathon. If it's your first time, it's like you're already in their good books. They want you to try something new, they want you to work hard, they want you to enjoy the experience. They also want feedback. So in such cases, what happens is they have special prizes for freshers. Say you're a first timer or you're a fresher, you just joined university or school, you're eligible for this. You just need to inform the organizers beforehand. During a pitch, you can just say that you are a fresher and they'll understand. Or you could just subtly put it. For example, I was trying to implement this, but I was not able to do this because I'm a fresher and I'm just learning. It always helps. It shows that you're an early learner, you're very interested, and everyone wants to promote something like this in everyone. So just ensure you let the judges know that you're a fresher if you're a fresher. One of the major ways you can win a hackathon is by having a rock solid idea. If you have a really good idea, no one can beat you. Even if they have a very good project which has clean UI, which is easy to use, but it is pointless and it already exists in the market with some other name, it is useless. So if you have an idea which sets you apart, which has a good business model, which can speak for itself, then you know that you have already won the hackathon. Your idea is your number one priority, then comes the implementation. Even in Profitech, they're promoting you to work in finance and stocks, and then there's a category for coding. It's not necessary that you code for these, it is optional, but it is never going to be compulsory in such a hackathon, because they want you to ideate, they want you to come up with something new. Anyone can code, but coming up with a good idea which changes the world, that's revolutionary. I would also recommend you interact with everyone, especially the code team. For example, Profitech has a Discord channel. They have different channels for putting up your LinkedIn profiles, your GitHub profiles, for interacting, forming teams. Ensure you put a message over there. If you put a message, you'll be seen by everyone, not only the participants but also the organizers. And most of these organizers will also be judging you. So whenever they're judging you for your technical rounds, they'll they'll remember, okay, this person had texted on the group, this person is active and is interested. These are the roadblocks they were facing. I already know this, and they were still able to overcome this. That's pretty cool. So if you interact, you increase your chances of making good friends, good colleagues, while also increasing your chances of winning. But when I say interact with the host, that doesn't mean you don't interact with the other members. You need to interact with other members so that you know your competition. You need to know what the others are doing, and if there's any scope of improvement in your own project. You may see someone's project, you may like how they're doing something, and you may think you can actually implement that in your own project. So that will be a really cool thing, and that is not possible if you do not interact with them. So it is always recommended you try to interact with everyone, because in the end it's all about building connections who will last you a lifetime. One of my best friends is someone I met in a hackathon. My first hackathon introduced me to a best friend. How cool is that? Then, So this is one of the tricks which is kind of controversial because not a lot of hackathons allow this. You need to read the instructions of the hackathon very carefully. You need to see if they allow you to build the project beforehand. If they allow you to build the project beforehand and it does not need to be made only during the hackathon's duration, then I would recommend you make at least 50% of the project beforehand and then go for the hackathon. Keep the time during the hack for solving bugs and adding new features which the judges tell you. This is again very optional. This is only possible if the rules don't explicitly say that you don't need to code during the hackathon. If the rules mention it, then you're supposed to code everything during the hackathon and you cannot bring a 50% completed project. So this is very controversial. Be careful, but if this rule is going to help you out in a hackathon where there are no rules for coding beforehand, in such a case, you can complete your project and then come. Then lastly, I would say work really hard. You've worked very hard, you've made a mobile application, you thought of an idea, you made a website, you spoke to your teammates, you have collaborated with them, coordinated with them, you built an awesome project, you built an awesome business model. So that's going to give you some kind of happiness because you were able to achieve something, you were able to finish something which you started from scratch in a mere span of say 24 to 48 to maybe even 72 hours, but not more than that because that's the normal hackathon duration. But say 1 to 3 days, you've been working really hard, you have made a complete project which can be added to your resume, and that is a great thing. So what I would recommend is you follow these tips. There are just 13 tips. Try to use these if you feel you need them. Like the first few tricks where you don't need a code, that's optional. But when I say aim for special prizes, make a good readme, use the fresher's luck if you're a fresher, make a very good idea, interact with everyone, I mean it. It definitely will help you win or at least make good connections throughout the hackathon.